go. Oh yeah, I should probably, hit play on the game itself. That would be helpful. There we go. That'll do it. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, God, yeah, I didn't even think of that. Right. Time crime. A time crime has indeed been committed. So I'm actually starting my stream even later than I usually do for some people. Sorry about that. Right. So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to a Halloween Overflow stream where I am picking up where I left off with The Last Door, Season 2. We played through Season 1 and Episode 1 of Season 2 on Halloween night. And then I decided, as much as I would love to keep playing it, I should probably go to sleep. Because it was like 3:30 in the morning when I ended my stream. Which isn't even, the latest I have ever gone to bed, but it's still pretty late, and it was like a 7.5 hour long stream, which is pretty long. So yeah, anyway, I don't know why I'm explaining all that. It's not relevant. But what is relevant is I'm playing more of The Last Door because it's great, and I want to play the rest of it. So, yeah, let's just start where we left off, which should be episode 2. That's true, yeah. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, right, because we stopped right at the end of episode 1. So let's go. Episode 2. Previously on The Last Door. Wakefield and Kaufman followed the only clue they had on Devitt's location, the recipient of Anthony's disturbing letter, Alexandre Dupré. Again, I apologize for my terrible French. Wakefield visited the East Hill Asylum to gather some information on Dupré's past. Wakefield discovered that Dupré was the leader of a secret society known as the Playwright. He learned that they practiced rituals with the goal of peering through the veil, the line that separates the common world from an outer void full of horrors. One of East Hill's patients turned out to be a member of the Playwright, but she escaped the asylum. Wakefield and Kaufman followed her to her hideout, a cabin in the mountains, when suddenly a big flock of birds appeared. Right, we're playing as Wakefield now. We're no longer playing as Devitt. Wakefield is Devitt's therapist. Devitt has gone through the veil at the end of Season 1. I must forget nothing. Okay. So what horrible thing is this episode gonna make me do right off the bat? Everything must be set. Where are we? It's like a mine or something. When the time comes. Oh, okay, yeah, it's a rope. I guess we're clearing out that mine shaft. And I'm visited again. Oh, it was a fuse, I think. Maybe? I think he might have set a fire, blown something up. I don't know who that was. I think that might have been the redheaded man that Devitt was following through the foggy maze in episode, what was that, 3? 3, I think. For a moment, the sky was dark. We heard the calls of 1,000 birds. But another sound rose above them. A sound I cannot describe. Yikes. What just happened in here? Where is Miss Kona? We are too late. The windows are covered with wooden planks. It looks as if she were trying to keep someone from entering. Or something from getting out. It is ashes. Ooh. Howdy, howdy, Mr. Gell. Chalk. A circle drawn hastily on the floor. She thought it could prevent what she knew was about to happen, but she was wrong. I do not know what to make of all this. I do. Well, will you share it with the rest of the class, Dr. Know-It-All? Are you all right, Kaufman? It is nothing, mein Freund. Just a bit of a cold. Now, mein Freund, I think we should talk. In light of the events we have recently witnessed, the matter cannot be delayed any further. You must make an important decision. Just the consumption, yeah. Incurable cough of death. It is not yet too late to go back to our daily lives. If you do not want to continue, you must forget all about your patient, Jeremiah Devitt. You will have to keep to yourself everything you have learned about the mystery of his disappearance, and never talk about it again. But should you wish to continue this search, you will need to accept the consequences, whatever they may be. Please do not take this decision lightly. The path ahead is not without peril. You know my answer already, Kaufman. I must know what happened to Devitt. So be it then. As you may have already realized, this matter involving your patient transcends the limits of psychiatry as we know it. We are not dealing with the effects of trauma or the demons of the subconscious, at least not in the terms we are used to. We are dealing with something old, something dark, a sinister truth that has been buried deep for generations. This man, Alexandre Dupre, and his organization, I think they seek to uncover these secrets, and I fear they might have already. Miss Kona's fate, whatever it was, must be related somehow. But my knowledge of this area is simply not sufficient. We must pay a visit to an old friend, someone I never thought I would want to see again. The man who introduced me to the extended scientific field of the occult. My mentor, Professor Adam Wright. Season 2, Episode 2, My Dearest Visitor. Adam Wright and his friend, Adam Wrong. His great grandson, Phoenix. Wright Manor. Well, I suppose we were in the right place. Ha 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 ha, shut up. I doubt he is away at this time of day. Perhaps he cannot hear us from the front. Let us try the back door. snow. The sound of footsteps crunching on snow. So good. Mrs. Oakwood. She is the manor's housekeeper. What are you doing? Yes, who is it? Good morning, Mrs. Oakwood. Don't you remember me? Why, Dr. Kaufman! Bless my soul, it's been so long I hardly recognize you. How nice to see you. How nice to see you again. Allow me to introduce my colleague, Dr. John Wakefield. Is the professor at home? We would like to see him. Why, yes, doctor, of course. I'm quite forgetting myself. Let me take you to him. It is really good of you to come. He receives so few visitors these days on account of his condition. His condition? Oh, sir, I am right sorry. I thought you knew. The professor, he suffers from an ailment afflicting his brain. He is now entirely confined to his bed. Uh-oh. Oh, no, okay, so that's the guy I think we saw in the flashback. Professor Wright, you have visitors. One of them is your old friend. Look, do you recognize him? It is Johann, Professor, your old pupil. I reckon he does remember you, Johann. It has been a long time since I have seen him so excited. Is he excited? I will leave you two to talk to the professor. It may be difficult to keep him on one subject for long, but oh, it does him such a world of good to speak with old friends. Crippling brainitis, yes. Should you need my assistance, I will be in the backyard. Professor? Uncle James, you are back. It is I, Professor, Johann Kaufman. Where is father? Where has he been taken? He suffers from some kind of memory loss. Yes, I'm afraid he will not tell us much in this state. If we could but stimulate his memories. Maybe then he could tell us of his research. Something to unravel the mystery of the playwright. Perhaps. We have few other options in any case. Let us try. Why don't you explore the manor? There may be some object we can use to jog the professor's memory. Meanwhile, I will try and talk to him about the time we researched together. That could also help him remember. Cool. Sounds like, some form of dementia. Now I wonder, what if I had stayed? Professor Wright's gaze remains fixed on the window as though he were waiting for someone. The snow is falling outside, slow and silent. Professor Wright? Father? Why must you spend so much time away? Father. We must find a way to help the professor recover his memories. Why don't you try to find some object that the professor may have kept as a memento? Meanwhile, I will keep telling him about the years we spent researching together. A large wardrobe of engraved wood. Please, Professor, talk to me. Oops. A painting of the ocean at the end of the afternoon. There is a figure in black on the beach, but its face is shrouded by a hood. Ominous. A lamp provides a soft glow that somehow lacks warmth. It's locked. The sign on the door reads attic. Why would you put signs on the doors in your own house? An engraving on paper. The script is from a language unknown to me. An oil painting. It shows an obscure medieval scene. An old stone tower is depicted in the painting. Thorned vines have slithered across the entrance, forming a swarming blockade. Forming a swarming blockade that almost seems to come alive when stared at for too long. Creepy and awesome. Though I see myself in the mirror, the reflection is strangely distorted. Ah, just like every good horror game. A large porcelain tub, its hefty weight supported on 4 blackened iron feet. A thin ring of damp residue around its interior suggests recent use. A common radiator. It won't open. An enormous painting showing a torrential river and the waves splashing on the banks. In the background, I can see an old church, apparently abandoned. An antique ceiling lamp. A portrait of Professor Wright. His appearance was quite different back then, an imposing, inquisitive figure. A porcelain jar containing some dried branches. Oh, that's outside. Okay, hold on. Let me finish exploring the house first. Or at least as much of the house as I can explore. A sea landscape. It is locked. What's that? A gilded pipe. It runs from the room at the end of the corridor to the room upstairs. Like a speaking tube, maybe? A gilded pipe. It runs from the ground to the corridor. A cast iron wood stove. A bread oven. Only for bread, nothing else. Various ingredients. Glass jars filled with spices and pickled food. The door is locked shut. A small sign reads basement. Okay. Hold on, we'll talk to you in a minute. Ooh. Library. The library. Professor Wright has an eclectic collection, from old adventure novels to treatises on the occult sciences. Some of these titles, I believe, have been forbidden by the Crown. A tin soldier. It looks to have been painted by hand. It commemorates some military campaign that I've not heard of. That's probably important. Could it hold some special significance to Professor Wright? Perhaps it will help stimulate his memories. A tin soldier decorated in the colors of the British Army. It is highly detailed for such a tiny figure. It appears to commemorate a military campaign. We did talk to another military veteran in the previous chapter, who is an opium addict now. Great. A painting of the cliffs of this region. The fire burns fiercely, rendering the air thick and heavy in the room. A globe. The surface is extraordinarily detailed. Judging by the strange shape of the continents, this must derive from a fictional work or some prehistoric era. Ooh. Oh, cool. Ooh, alright. Okay, I sense a puzzle therein. What is that sound? It is locked. I can hear the racket of many birds on the other side. That's probably bad. Alright, let's poke around outside. go in the front first, and then we'll talk to Mrs. Oakwood, was her name? A fierce lion damaged by the harsh weather of the coast. Weather. Oh, wait. A fierce lion damaged by the harsh weather of the coast. Its head is missing. There's a strange ornament on the wall. I think I can move it. Sure. What? Oh. Huh, okay, so there's only two things. Alright, hold on. Okay. One sec. Can't go that way, there's probably... Okay, so that just goes back to Wickport. Okay. A thick layer of ice covers the pool of water. May I ask you something, Mrs. Oakwood? Of course, Doctor. How did the professor become afflicted? The ailment runs in his family. Mr. Wright suffers from it, as did his father and grandmother before him. It is truly a terrible thing. And to think, all these years Mr. Wright knew what would become of him. May God have pity on his poor soul. So yeah, basically is dementia, or like Alzheimer's, essentially. Ugh. What are the symptoms of this illness? This ailment that runs in Professor Wright's family, do you know what its symptoms are? Well, I can't speak those very long words physicians use, but I can tell you what I see in him. Professor Wright hardly remembers a thing from the last 40 years. It is like he's a child again. With God's mercy, it has now gone so far that it torments him no longer. I will leave you to your work. Thank you for your assistance. Have a good day, Dr. Wakefield. I really want to know what she's doing. What is she digging out here? Actually, I don't suppose that this does anything. Yeah, a grave would be, I guess, the obvious answer. That probably doesn't do anything until I, like, do something else, I'm guessing. Okay, let me put it back at its default position for now. That really, that makes me think of, like, a Myst puzzle. Very, very Myst reminiscent. Well, actually, what if I do this? This tin soldier appears to commemorate a military campaign. Perhaps it could jog the professor's memories. Yes, this could work, mein Freund. Why don't you show it to him? Actually, hold on. I want to show it to Mrs. Oakwood first, see if she has anything to say about it. Oops, wrong way. My only regret is that I had brainitis. No, nothing. I probably should have gone around the front. It would have been a little bit shorter, but Whatever. Oops, that's the bathroom. Do you recognize this, Professor Wright? Sergeant Downing was sent to the front. The man that returned was not Sergeant Downing. My dearest visitor, he will know where to look. Oh, what a time we will have. Your visitor? What do you mean, Professor? He will have seen the map, and he will know the Book of Travels. The Book of Travels? Yes, yes, he will work it out. But it must not be too easy, no. But he will find the prize, I'm sure. Prize? What on earth is he talking about, Kaufman? Something concealed, something precious. In his adult state, could he have hidden away parts of his research? He was always a proud man. He would not easily have forgotten his most groundbreaking work. A sense of its grave importance, at least, would have remained. In his confusion, perhaps he has holed it away somewhere for this dearest visitor of his to find. Why don't you explore the manor? Perhaps something will relate to these latest ramblings. Meanwhile, I will continue my endeavors to revive his memory through conversation. My dearest visitor will find the prize, I have no doubt. The professor has mentioned a map and a certain work titled The Book of Travels. What could he mean by that? Okay. So, probably the library. Well, I mean, Mrs. Oakwood did say it runs in the family. Anything new to you? New to say from you? Professor Wright mentioned something, the Book of Travels. Do you know what that might be? Why, yes, Doctor, I know that story well. I do indeed. He often asks me to read it to him. The book should be in the library. Sweet, thanks. Let's go in there anyway. There's a large volume here, quite worn. It is an illustrated edition of the Travels of Marco Polo. Perhaps this is the Book of Travels that Professor Wright mentioned. There is a mark on one of the pages. We began our journey by crossing the unforgiving desert, always facing the setting sun. At last we arrived at the merciful sight of the great ocean. We followed the coast north in dear hope of reaching our home soon. It was not to be. The king of the land we traversed had declared war on the great Khan, so we were forced to return as we had come. We never set foot in that bloody land again. We knew there was a port just a few miles to the south where we could find a boat. Our sea voyage was short, as our sails billowed with the powerful southern winds. We reached the most eastern cape and landed there. Our backs to the sea, we marched forth and soon reached home. Okay. Hold on a minute. Let me jot that down. Okay, so cross the desert to west. unless we arrived at the ocean. Arrive at ocean. Follow coast north. King of the land we traversed had declared war on the great Khans. We were forced to return as we had come. Okay. Port to the south. Sea voyage. Southern winds. The most eastern cape. Landed there. On East Cape. Backs to the sea, we marched forth and soon reached home. Okay. Okay. So... Oh, okay. It gives me that info there right there. Good. Oops. Okay, so we started where? Began our journey across the unforgiving desert. Okay. So I'm thinking probably like one of these two. Hold on. Follow the coast north. Easternmost cape. Huh. It's hard to tell, like I think it wants me to press all of them in like a certain order. Okay, wait, okay, let me think. Okay, no, I don't think there's any significance to that. The difference in sound, okay. It just makes different sounds. So wait. Okay, I think we start here. Arrive at the ocean. Follow the coast north. But then return as we came. But then do we go here or not? Port to the south. Now are we supposed to go out here? Because there's the sea voyage here. What? I am confused about what this puzzle actually wants from me. I doubt anybody else will have anything to say, but I'm gonna check anyway. Yeah, no, I didn't think so. Nope, we're on our own. Hmm. Okay. What if I start here? You know, that's a good point. I was wondering about that. I was wondering about that. Yeah. Okay, let me. Okay, hold on. North, return from where it came. No. Okay. Okay, so that would suggest that we're going north. Okay, so start here, I think. Cross desert, arrive at ocean, follow coast north. But then we have to go back the way we came. Port to the south. Sea voyage. No? Maybe it's all the way south. Hold on. And then wait, hold on. So, yeah, in dear hope of reaching our home soon. Okay, so yeah, so home is so we're trying to go here. I guess this is where home is, but we can't make it by land because there's a war on apparently. Okay, okay. So that kind of puts it in a little more context. Uh, so I think then we want to go like this and then this and then this and this and that. There we go. We had to go all the way south. It seems I've triggered a hidden mechanism. A small compartment has opened at the globe. Sweet. There's a sealed letter inside. It is simply addressed to my dearest visitor. Kaufman needs to see this before it is opened. No, opened first! Just an empty compartment. Its sides and base are covered in black velvet. A letter sealed with wax. It is addressed simply to my dearest visitor. What happens if I show it to Mrs. Oakwood? Probably nothing, but I'm curious. Do you know, is the professor fond of puzzles or riddles? Indeed, yes. He has long been an enthusiast of every mind game you can imagine. In better days, he would host parties every other month. Themed soirees, he called them. Oh, those were good times. It seems long ago now. No, nothing from her. Okay. Jigsaw. Get out of here, Jigsaw. Nobody likes you. You're not invited to this themed soiree. Kaufman, look, I found an envelope. It was hidden inside a globe that a strange mechanism opened. To my dearest visitor, let us see what is inside. Exactly. This is another part of an intricate riddle. But to what purpose? To conceal something, perhaps? Or just the last acts of a confused and drowning mind? I am increasingly of the opinion that this is some mental construct, some riddle conjured up by the professor's failing mind. He may not have even understood what he hid. Those seeking wisdom must first know their own foolishness. Reflect on yourself in the heat of passion to reveal what the cold eye of logic sees not. Okay. A riddle, and who would that visitor be? That is unknown to me, mein Freund. There is only one way to answer that question. If we can find the answer to the professor's riddle, perhaps we will be able to solve this mystery. Only by answering the riddle can we hope to solve this mystery. Remember those times? We would get almost no sleep at all. Reflect on yourself in the heat of passion. Okay, so that suggests the mirror. Reflect on yourself, said the riddle, and the cold eye of logic sees not. Could there be something here hidden somehow? Ooh, I bet we have to, like, turn on the hot water and fog up the mirror, and then there'll be, like, a hidden message written on the mirror. Radiator. How do I turn stuff on? Oh, a gilded pipe. It runs from the floor to the ceiling. Okay, alright. That pipe definitely has something to do with it. Oh. Hello, you're in here now. Nope, nothing. What does this represent? It's like an archway or a tower. I have the sense that, like, that has something to do with the attic, maybe? Like, maybe that's how we get into the attic, or I don't know. I'm just taking wild guesses. Oh, I can't show the letter to her. I want to turn on the stove. An old teapot. Oh, gimme. It is filled with cold water. The teapot is filled with water. If I want to heat the teapot on the stove, I will need to start a fire first. The stove already has plenty of wood. Okay. Ooh. Oh. What was that? Glass. There's a matchbox here too. I may need these matches later on. It is half empty. That's the pessimist's way of thinking. Okay. Whee! The water will cool soon. book it upstairs to the bathroom. Ha, well, that was a roundabout way of doing it, but I was more or less right. Reflect on yourself in the heat of passion to reveal knowledge that the cold eye of logic sees not. Condensation from the teapot's steam has revealed a hidden message. I'll add this clue to the letter. Knowing yourself, you may look upon your master, meet his imposing gaze, and seek to understand what lies beneath. Thereby learn the question, if not the final answer. Meet his imposing gaze. Curiously, the message remains visible even though the condensation has evaporated. The portrait. Oh! Oh, yeah. That, because I bet, yeah, like knowing yourself. Yeah. I bet you're right. I bet it is the portrait. Look upon your master. Meet not only his imposing gaze, but seek to understand what lies beneath. As I suspected, there is a small key taped to the back of the picture frame, and a note. I'll add this clue to the letter. The question is the world from the peak of man's tallest tower. The answer yearns up to it from the root of life and time itself. Oh yeah, it even said imposing. Nice. A faded golden key. Okay, I bet this is going to involve the attic. The attic and or the basement. Beautiful. A shelf covered in old ornaments, pieces of metalwork, and pipes of strange shapes. Okay, this is probably going to be... Yeah. Some kind of round mechanism. Okay. We got bird. And other bird. Bird in flight. Bird standing. Wait. Let's just leave it as it originally was first. Ooh. An unusual electrical device. I'm unfamiliar with its function, but I can tell that there is a piece of equipment missing. Okay. Ooh. The answer yearns up to it from the very root of life and time itself. I should check if there is something hidden near that tree. The statue portrays a clergyman hiding his face behind a mask. This statue portrays a sage hiding his face behind a mask. This statue portrays a peasant woman with her face hidden by a mask. The queen has removed her mask. The central statue portrays a cloaked figure holding a clay vessel. Oh, okay, that's the pool of water there. That ancient oak tree is the tallest tree on the grounds. Okay. didn't even see that there was other places to go here. Ah, silly me. It looks as though something has been concealed beneath the thick roots. Another note and a key bound together. I'll add this clue to the letter. Then you will be ready to climb to the tallest heights, and from there to look down to the deepest roots. It is a truth our ancestors knew, and with stone silence came to unknow. This key has been engraved with the shape of a feather. Nothing but a few small plants withered by the morning frost. I bet that opens the bird room. An old bronze key. It has been engraved with the shape of a feather. Okay. Here's where this was. The queen has removed her mask. There's an empty hole where her face should be. Creepy. When the four remove their masks of lies, the path to the grave will be cleared. A stiff tree. Almost seems like a statue itself. Interesting. God, if I had a nickel for every time in an adventure game I, like, missed a crucial part of a puzzle because I didn't realize the screen scrolled, I would have quite a few nickels. I don't want to go in here. Ugh, okay. Inside this cage, there is a bird with a black head and orange breast. The sign reads, Pirula Pirula. A truth that our ancestors knew and through stone silence came to unknow. There's a small compartment at the base of the bust. Inside this, a note. That only by entering the gnashing jaws of primal horror. Primal horror? Maybe the lion head? A bust of the Greek philosopher Anaxagoras. Inside the cage there's a crow with black and gray feathers. The sign reads Corvus Cornix. Who is taking care of all these birds? Mrs. Oakwood? I guess so. Also, God, it must stink in here. Inside the cage, there's a small bird with black and white wings and a feathered crest. The sign reads, Upupa epops. This bird is black with a yellow beak. The sign on its cage reads Turdus merula. I don't know these scientific names off the top of my head. The bird inside has a gray breast and brown wings. Passer domesticus. A curious bird with long legs. The sign on the cage reads Porphyrio alemi. There is a bird with a pale brown breast inside this cage. The sign reads Lucinia megarinchos. Through the glass I see rolling hills covered in snow. An embroidered cloth covers this cage. On it is written, if the birds are silent. The phrase trails off. A bird with red feathers on its head and breast. Erythicus rubecula. The bird inside this cage has yellowish-brown feathers. The sign on the cage reads Carduelis flavirostris. Rebecula's a Robin. Okay. That's this one. And we saw a corvid over here. Corvus cornix. Oh, yeah, this is the crow. Okay. P. domesticus is a sparrow. Okay, I was thinking it was like a pigeon or something. Passer domesticus. A carefully embroidered cloth. The beginning of a phrase is written on it. If the birds fall silent. Just put... The bird inside grows suddenly quiet. But I mean, we're gonna need a lot of cloths. Ah, Upupa Epops is a hoopoe. And that is... The hoopoe has been mentioned before as like the guide, basically, to the veil. That's not this one, but this one. Okay, so I think what we're going to want to do is cover this whole window somehow. Let's see. Entering the gnashing jaws of primal horror. And I think we're probably getting ahead of ourselves. I don't think we need to do anything in that room just yet. Maybe. But only by entering the gnashing jaws of primal horror. There is something hidden in the lion's mouth. A lever. I think it has triggered some mechanism inside the manor. There's also a note in here. I'll add this clue to the letter. Will you at last know truth? Could this be the last part of the riddle? The body and visage of the lion have been thoroughly worn down. However, its teeth remain sharp. What did that do? There's like so many like little pieces of riddles scattered throughout this manor, and we've only we're solving one and then we move on to the next, but there's still stuff left undone. I'm sure we'll come back to them later, maybe. Let's see. Let's look around and see if we can figure out what that mechanism was. Anaxagoras. Well, we already found something in that bust. But I don't know who that is or what his teachings involved, if any. Nothing new out of you. Oh. The central statue portrays a cloaked figure holding a clay vessel. The vessel has a small hole in it, just large enough to see a metal object hidden inside. Okay. Maybe I need something long and pokey. Oh! A secret passage is open at the end of the corridor. Hell yeah. This looks like Professor Wright's archive. I should bring Kaufman here at once. No, I want to poke around first. Ooh. Falling out of my chair, just don't mind me. According to Anaxagoras, all things have existed in some way from the beginning, but originally they existed in infinitesimally small fragments of themselves, endless in number and inextricably combined throughout the universe. Interesting. I wonder how that's relevant. Experiments, 1885. Let us see. Have a look at this. Be careful, there's a small key inside the folder. Drop. Oops. 1st August, 1885. Results at last. After many months of tedious observation, something has finally come from the other side. I heard the sound of footsteps exploring the proximity of the stone archway. This would seem to verify my hypothesis. Absolute horror is the key that we seek. 20th September, 1885. Now that they have proven themselves useful, I have installed 2 new devices in the outer tunnels. I dare not go deeper. I have not heard it again, but I know the thing must be still down there in the dark. 12th November, 1885. Containment in the underground tunnel has been breached. Redacted. Gone. 15th December, 1885. I have no choice but to abort the experiment. It can no longer be controlled. There is but one thing left to do. I will seal the tunnel and hope that the abomination remains forever entombed within. Oh, okay, so that's probably what he was doing at the beginning of the chapter. Or the episode. What is this supposed to be? It seems to be a log that the professor kept during one of his experiments almost 7 years ago. It is noteworthy that one of the entries has been redacted. But what is written in there, it cannot be true. It must be some kind of hallucination. A sign of Professor Wright's illness, maybe. Perhaps, though we should not jump to conclusions. We can conclude that the professor had another working place underground. Perhaps that key opens the basement door. There could be a route through to this underground tunnel. Meanwhile, I will keep looking through these documents. There must be something more than that folder among this mess. All right. An iron key. The attached tag reads basement. Piles of papers of all kinds. Discarded notes, letters, and receipts all mixed up. Each thing contains in itself parts of other things or heterogeneous elements, and is what it is only on account of the preponderance of certain homogeneous parts which constitute its character. Out of this process arise the things we see in this world. Okay, so like... Okay, so like a bird, let's say, is a bird because it is made up of very small bits of bird. And then, but then like a lion could also have very small bits of bird making up part of it, but there are more bits of lion in it, thus making it a lion. Interesting. Yeah. Huh. Many folders. They have no distinctive tag on them. Yeah. Like you go down far enough and it's all the same ultimately. But then but we're not, but we are, but yeah. Huh. That's definitely food for thought. Some shredded paper. It appears to have been notes. A long series of folders with dates on them in complete disarray. Ah, my inner librarian must must organize them. A set of framed silhouettes. Under each is an inscribed plaque. Ooh, I bet that's important. Mr. Strachan was a well-positioned man. He fell madly in love with a younger daughter of the Bartleys, and so he proposed to her. Young Agnes fancied the idea of marrying an older man, but she always hid her feelings from her mother. Mrs. Bartley did never take her eyes off her daughter and watched them at all times. Mr. Bartley tried to show his support for their daughter, but his wife never paid any attention to him. Oh, okay. Is that like a reset? Okay, let's see. So, Mr. Strachan was a well-positioned man. He felt bad love a younger daughter of the Bartleys. Okay, so probably that. And then, yep, okay, Agnes. And then, yeah. Cool. A compartment is opened in the wall. Ooh. Spirally thing. And that looks like the bear patches in the courtyard. And a maze of some sort. Weird. I wonder what all these mechanisms are for. I still need some time here. Why don't you check if that key opens the door to the basement? There could be an entrance to the underground tunnel mentioned by the professor. Fine. Fine. Let's go to the basement. Yeah? What's your theory? Wait. Where was the basement? Through here, I think. Oh, this key doesn't work here. Oh no, it was through the kitchen. It was that one right there. Defenses against the abomination. The path through spiral is obvious, but the maze not so much. Ooh. Ooh. That is ominous, and I like it, and I bet you're right. Okay, that makes me think. The one out front, we want that to be the tower, and not the archway. But then what about the bird one? Yeah. Yeah, I bet the bird in flight is the one we want. Oops. Use key. Come on. Not that hard. It's completely dark in here. I feel a cold draft coming from the front. Oh, yeah, maybe. When all the birds are silent. But then wouldn't we want, like, the... Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess it kind of depends on what role the birds even play in this whole shenanigans. Oh, wait, matches. There we go. What? Jeez. I don't like that. We're just... Oh, God. I'm gonna go through the whole fucking box of matches. We really can't get, like, a lantern or something? Come on. Ask Mrs. Oakwood for a lamp. I'm sure she has one somewhere in the house. I've run out of matches. Oh, jeez. What? Everything is fine. I've fallen through a hole. Where am I? The flow of air is stronger here. Oh boy. It looks like a component of some sort of machine. Oh, gimme. Maybe I can find out where to use it. Yeah, that probably goes to the thing in the attic. Which suggests that we're going to get back to the attic at some point, but, yeah, and there is a lantern, except we're out of matches, so please don't extinguish yourself, lantern. Also, I like how this chapter has been like, or this episode has been like, okay, you know, we're just going to have you solve riddles and puzzles for, you know, for an hour, and then, oh, hey, by the way, did you forget that this is a horror game? Let us remind you. A working lantern. Give. Now I can get out of here safely. This part of the tunnel is blocked by a cave-in. The underground tunnel is not accessible from here. I should go back. The way is blocked by a cave-in. Thank goodness, a ladder. Okay. Now we can actually... Oh, that looks like another one of those thingies. It is a mechanism of some sort. Okay, we have like a picture frame or something. Ah, or no, a door. Okay, a door that is open versus a door that is closed. Okay. I think your theory checks out. This old furniture has been left here to rot. Gross. If we cannot access the tunnel mentioned in Professor Wright's log, how can we find the missing parts of his research? I must talk to Kaufman about this. I was able to use the key to explore the basement. There is a large hole in the floor. One side of the hole may lead to some sort of tunnel, but it was completely covered in rocks and debris, so I could not tell for sure. Covered in debris? It sounds as if the professor succeeded in blocking the entrance to this underground area. It is unfortunate for us. I have made some progress of my own, mein Freund. I think this could help us dilucidate the next step in our search. Dilucidate? Have a look. To make clear, I guess. Why not use elucidate, though? Today, a meeting finally took place. You see, Mr. Wright, our organization is keenly interested in your research. We could reach an agreement to fund this project, but first we need to know the details. I understand. The main factor is the condition of the test subject, how open he is to suggestion. As you know, only the human mind can open a physical passage to the other side. Okay, yeah, makes sense that it would be. Impressive, actually, that a game made by a studio based in Spain, and presumably English not being their first language, let alone archaic English, that they would use a word like that. Kudos. So a complete, absolute darkness will be required for the experience to result. A secluded place, completely isolated. A place that can only bring thoughts of what may be hiding in the dark. I have the perfect location in mind. But in total darkness and seclusion, how could the results of the experiment be studied or confirmed? That is precisely where your organization can provide help. I have designed a special device that would allow me to listen from a safe distance, but I lack the means to manufacture it myself. That we could arrange. But there is one last thing I would like to know. How would the experience be triggered? By means of a chemical compound of some kind? Do you mean a serum? Not at all. That will be of no elegance whatsoever. The trigger is the mind itself, the emotion known as terror. The primal fear that still survives in the depths of our mind, from the times humans were mere beasts. Oops. I clicked out of the window. Sorry about that. Get all my windows back. There. That which allows us to open a physical passage beyond the veil of rational thought. Primal terror is the key that we will use to open the last door. Great. Good. Fantastic. Could this organization be the playwright? It may be, mein Freund. If so, then we are closer to the truth than we thought. But in this room I have been able to find only some fragments of information, discarded material. It looks as if the main bulk of documents were moved from this room and hidden somewhere else. The basement tunnel. That seems the most reasonable conclusion. But access to that place is lost, is it not? The entrance was sealed. There may be another access that we do not know about. If we could find and use the device that the professor mentions in his log, I believe we could shed some light on this matter. Okay, I'm pretty sure I know where it is. Oh, okay. Well, then that checks out. Dilucidar, elucidar. The entrance to the underground tunnel was sealed. What should we do now? If we could find and use the device that the professor mentions in his log, I believe we could shed some light on this matter. I will let you continue with your search, Kaufman. Be careful. Alright, before we do that, let's go see if Mrs. Oakwood has anything new to say. I doubt she will, but I like to be thorough. I should maybe check on the professor as well. Although I doubt he's doing much of anything. It appears to be a part of some larger device. An oil lamp, similar to those used by mine workers. Yeah, this pipe is going to be the trick, or the key to it, rather. Nope, still nothing out of you. Okay. That device in the attic most likely connects to that pipe. And I bet the pipe is just like like all you're gonna hear through that device is just screaming. Primal horror. Screaming. Professor? No, okay. Nothing new. Hey, Edenwaith. Yeah. God, yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, maybe games that take place on or around Thanksgiving? I don't know. Yeah, like the Overcooked games, Cook Serve, any cooking game, Cook Serve Delicious, Battle Chef Brigade, any food heavy game. All right, so we have oh wait, hold on. There we go. I think it will work now. A gilded pipe runs from the strange device through to the floor below. This sound. Do my ears deceive me? Is that a piano melody? I must seek Kaufman at once. Oh yeah, yep. Space Quest 4. Monolith Burger, Burger Time. Not to state the obvious, but it sounds as if someone is still down there. Playing the piano, of all things. But how is that even remotely possible? I do not know, but this means something important to us. It means there is another entrance to the underground tunnel, and that we must find it. But we have run out of leads. You did not find anything of use in the archive, and Professor Wright continues to mutter incoherently about childhood memories. You must hypnotize the professor, mein lieber Freund. We are running out of options. This might be the only way to find the answers we seek. Cool. Didn't know that was an option. Look at this candle. Fix your eyes upon it. Your body is as light as a feather. This is now an ASMR stream. Everything around you fades. You are entering a dark, endless void. I think I'm going to sit up and pay attention. That's good. Listen to my voice. Where are you? Oh, cool. A great number of trees surround me. The sun is setting soon. I can go north and west. Okay. Now this is a text adventure. This rules. Go elsewhere. I stand among tall trees. They stare at me silently. They have found me guilty. I do not wish to stay here. Okay. North and west. Yeah. Oh god, that's a... I don't think I ever played all of that game, but I know I played parts of it when I was a child. I think yeah, I never actually owned it, but I played some of it at like a friend's house, I think. Don't get eaten by Gru, yeah. Where should we go? North or west? What do you guys think? What do you folks think? West? Okay, let's go west. I'm on the beach. There is a huge rock here. Many birds circle in the sky overhead. To the north I see the shore. To the west there is a person. Okay, so east was back in the forest. Right? Yeah, okay. West. Okay, so north is the shore, west, person. I'm very curious about this person. I'm going to talk to the person. As soon as I approach, the figure darts between the rocks as though it were frightened of me. Okay. So, can't talk to person. Let's go north then. I stand beside the shore. The water wets my shoes, and all around me lie the wrecks of ships. To the north, something floats in the water. To the east, I can see the edge of the forest. Well, we gotta see what's in what that's floating in the water. A body floats in the water. I will not look upon its face. Okay. Then let's go back east. I stand beside a waterfall. It is not water that falls, but mud and rock from a great height. They fall and fall into a bottomless abyss. Behind the waterfall, to the east, lies a tunnel. To the west, I see the edge of the forest. I think south takes us back to where we started, right? Yeah, okay. Well, obviously, we gotta see what's behind the waterfall. I'm in a dark tunnel. Oscar is here as well. He is upset. He yells at me. He begs me to stop. Evil Oscar? The tunnel divides into many passages. I can go north, south, and west. Go Dennis. Go Oscar. Okay, west is out, right? Yeah, okay. So, north or south? Where should we go? Sorth or Nouth? North, okay. Let's go north. I'm in a large open space with a piano. Something stands next to the piano. I can't see it clearly. Its face. The tunnel stretches into the dark. Oh. It is a very small room. In the center lies a deep pit. A ladder goes down. It is so dark. Down there, it lies. It waits. I will not continue. I must go back. Go down the ladder. I cannot! I can hear it with me. Its breath. Dear God, I must flee! We must continue. It waits for me. It waits down there. I have gone down the ladder. What was to the south? I cannot see. It is pitch dark. I can feel its breath. It is here. It is with me. Enough. We went too far, mein Freund. You are right. I did not think he would react this way. You did well by stopping the trance, Kaufmann. I think it will be best if we leave it for today. Let us return to the inn. Reflect tonight on what we have witnessed here. Tomorrow, let's discuss the next steps in our investigation. January 21st, 1893. Come in. Kaufmann, are you all right? Worry not, Wakefield. I am just feeling a bit feeble. It must be all this cold and humidity. Nothing serious. He gonna die. He is gonna die. For sure. I would like to know your opinion about what we heard during yesterday's session. Do you remember anything that could help us in our search? Well, probably that. Throughout the trance, he saw an unknown figure with no visible face. The floating body in the water, the person near the rocks, the one beside the piano. Yes, indeed, but I'm afraid it is too soon to unveil the true meaning of those images. The sea was a recurring theme during the hypnotic regression. Yes, it is true. Maybe the entrance to this tunnel is somewhere closer to the coast. I believe that this underground tunnel has left a deep impression on Professor Wright's subconscious. I agree. The horror he experienced at the end of the session was far too intense to derive solely from his imagination. It speaks of some trauma. Professor Wright mentioned a man that shouted at him near the entrance to the tunnel, begging him not to continue. I cannot remember his name. Very good, it was Oscar. We should attempt to find him. He may know something about Professor Wright's fears. If we can find this man, I am sure we will shed some light upon the mystery. Why don't you go to the village and try to find out something about Oscar? My apologies, but I must stay here and recover my strength. Well, goodbye. We're probably never going to see you alive again. Okay, so someone named Oscar, no last name. Okay, so the inn. Okay, that's where we are right now. But let's take a look around while we're here. I should respect Kaufmann's privacy. Kaufmann's coat, an ugly painting. How are you feeling? I'm feeling all right, mein Freund. Just a bit tired. I will let you rest. Thank you, mein Freund. It's still snowing. Can I get you anything? Glass of water? Some opium? No, let's not go there. All right. The Fisherman's Lodge. Sounds welcoming. What else we got? Non-interactive door. No. The window is closed shut. Snow all but covers the window. Evidently, no one has been here to clear it in a very long time. It is too frosted over to see inside. Oh, wait, hold on. This is the door of the Church of Wickport. Let me go back to the inn first. Or, I mean, not the inn, but the lodge. Oh, there's a person there. I didn't even notice. Looks like a woman. Slam. You cannot cross the sea. Either by standing and staring at the water. An old poster of a local traditional sport. The sea chooses harbors to laugh in like the sailors do. The sea of those who are. The sea chooses too harbors where to die. I think he's singing a song. To die like sailors do. The sea of those who were. Old pictures of the village's inhabitants. This lady is dressed rather elegantly for someone who came to drink in a place like this. Those two fishermen have just given me a suspicious look. The wheel taken from the helm of a ship. Perhaps a trinket from the owner's days as a ship's helmsman. Bottles of rum, dark beer, and a couple of taps of pale ale. Good morning. You want a drink? What is with that man on the corner? Fred, you can ignore him. He's a sad, lonely drunk. Do you know a man called Oscar? You mean Father Oscar? You can find him in the church when he's not in here. It's right outside. Sweet. That was easy. Have you ever met Professor Wright? The professor? Sure. Saw him every other day as a young'un. Always involved in the village. He was la-di-da all right, but folk respected him. He got stuck in. Didn't last, though. Shut himself away, started getting visitors from out of town. He stopped coming to the village eventually. Last I heard, he'd gone crazy. None of us knows for sure, though. Been years since I saw him. I will leave you to your work. Godspeed. You, drunkie. Good morning. Let me drink in peace. Are you a ship captain? Why, what's it to you? Does I look like a captain? Yeah. Because of your hands, calloused by years of knotting rope and reeling in line. Any fisherman has hands like these. Because of your coarse skin, weathered by years of salt and wind. You met many folk in Wickport yet? It's common enough round these parts. Because of the hat you are wearing. Ha! A hat don't make a captain, townie. You can buy a hat like this in any flea market in England. Because of the 3 earrings you are wearing. You have double the 3 capes, is that right? Indeed I have. Good Hope, Lewin, and Horn. Therefore I hold the right to stand before kings and to piss against the wind. If I dies in the sea, these 3 rings will pay my wake. But no, that'll not happen now. Do you mean you will not set sail again? I love the sea more than anything. It is my passion, my freedom, and my life. But there are many things about him that we do not know. There are, far from the coast, in the deep dark, things we are still unprepared to behold. Believe me, those things await deep down. Have you seen any of those things? No, but you may have heard 1 or 2 of the stories the fishermen tell about things seen out there. It is naught but tales for young'uns, mere superstition from men too cowardly to face the dark. Any good seaman knows it in the strong wind. A stretched rope can shake and sing. I myself have mistaken such keening for the wail of a child. But there was one time it was nothing of the sort. Then the sea howled. It was not thunder, not a strong wave clashing with my ship, no. It was like a voice. It spoke to me in a language I cannot describe. A sound muttered by a living something, a call unlike anything I had heard before. And I understood. What did you understand? I understood there was no more freedom for me. That the sea now had other lords. And whoever they were, I did know that they would not share it. What happened then? As I navigated back to shore, I lost control of my ship in a great storm. The rocks of the cliffs did the rest. I do not know where the remains of my dear Augustine ended up with the passing of years and tides. I looked for them once, for many moons, but all I found was this bar in the bottom of an empty glass. I have never returned to the shore since. May she forgive me. Now leave me be. I will leave you alone to your thoughts. You have the gratitude of me and my whiskey. All that blathering worked up a right sore thirst. Neat. Before I go to the church, let me take a look at that beach that I found. Anything cool down here? Some abandoned wooden planks. Perhaps they're here for the repair of local fishing boats. An old rotting boat rests on the shore. The name Providence is written on the side. Good name for a boat. What's this? An old rusty bronze bell, typical of a seafaring vessel, is engraved with the name Augustine. Ooh! Someone would be able to tell me more about it. This old ship is completely wrecked. So this guy looked for his ship, for any trace of his ship, for months and months. And then he ended up here, and his ship is like right there. Like 30 feet away. An old rusty bronze bell, typical of a seafaring vessel. It is engraved with the name Augustine. Okay, let's go talk to Oscar. It is closed. Oh, okay. I guess we're not gonna go talk to Oscar. Fine. Fred, then.